It happens often. We're walking down the street, or we're clicking our way through the internet, and we stumble upon something new and unique. We find something that we've never seen before, and we get inspired to try it, to do it, or at the very least, to attempt it. We often see these amazing things that other people do that inspire us, but very seldom do we actually pursue them. In July of 2010, I was with one of my friends, navigating YouTube, and we came across a phenomenal music video made by students at UVic. We sat and watched the video, smiling ear to ear the entire time because the people looked like they're having a blast. A couple of minutes into the video, however, we realized that this wasn't filmed at the UVic here in Victoria, but it had been filmed at a UVic in Spain. We were a little jealous and disappointed that this didn't take place on our campus. So I put together a Facebook group to see whether there'd be any interest from students on our campus of following suit and doing one of our own, not really realizing what I was getting myself into. One of the first comments that I remember seeing posted on the group's Facebook wall is this: "Why is a chemistry, business, psychology dude in charge of this? That's cool for the rounding up, I guess, but I hope someone with lots of experience in large group events, filming, theater, takes over." I agree. Now, a quick show of hands. For how many of you, at some point in your life, has someone doubted you in your capacity to accomplish something? Look around. It's quite discouraging, but a lot of the time, this is the sentiment that we get. The worst part, however, tends to be the dwelling effects comments like these have on us. We start to have reservations about our abilities to do something. And why? Because some person told us that we can't do it? Instead, we should be asking ourselves, why can't I do it? Over the course of a couple of weeks, the project took off. From radio interviews to a front-page story on the Times Colonist, I knew at that point that there was no backing down. Not only did I have the passion and drive to do this, but I wanted to prove that a chemistry, business, psychology dude could actually do it. For the next 2.5 months, I worked tirelessly on the project. Between my classes, my job, and my volunteer work, any spare moment I had was dedicated to it. By the time filming day arrived, I was extremely satisfied with what it was that we had accomplished. I managed to get more than 1,000 people on board with my idea, had inspired more than 100 volunteers to help, and we also raised money for 2 local charities. A lot of people are in awe with what it was that I managed to accomplish and have expressed disbelief that we were all able to get it all done. But I look at it and don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. I look at the other speakers here today and I question, why am I on this stage? What I've done pales in comparison to what they've done. Why do we think like this? Why do we fail to recognize the true extent of our abilities, but we have no problem valuing what other people do? When we look at someone else's accomplishments, the reason we view them as extraordinary is because that skill, talent, achievement, whatever it is, it's foreign to us. We haven't done it. We have no idea the extent to which it takes to achieve the same things. Humans have an inherent fear of failure and the unknown, and both of these come into play when we're judging someone else's brilliance. We're afraid that we'll fail or that we'll embarrass ourselves, and that's why we don't do a lot of these things. But in all actuality, most people tend to give us a lot more credit than we think they do. This was certainly the case for me. The video was posted online just over 1 year ago, and it took off pretty quickly. It was picked up by news broadcasts locally, nationally, and internationally, and dozens of newspapers around the world. And every time I look at the video, though I'm happy with it, I see the problems, the areas that I know could have been better. I don't really understand why people were so shocked and amazed and inspired by this. I just see what I did wrong. Every day, we're bombarded with images that modify our definitions of success, of beauty, of accomplishment. The issue, though, is that we apply these modified definitions to ourselves more critically than we apply them to other people. We admire the accomplishments of our peers, but seldom do we credit ourselves with the same level of respect. And that's the issue with perspective. What's effortless for someone else is amazing for you. But at the exact same time, what's effortless for you is amazing for someone else. You think to yourself, my talents aren't that good. I'll never be as successful or accomplished or intelligent as they are. We admire people who do things that we can't. My brother is a phenomenal writer. My best friend's an amazing artist and musician, and I'm in awe at how they do these things. Writing, art, music, those are 3 areas of my life that I struggle with. And as such, I have a high regard for individuals who have success in those areas, because they make what I find challenging seem easy and effortless. Spin it around, though, and we rarely give ourselves the credit that we deserve. We have a hard time looking at what it is that we've done or what we're capable of doing and convincing ourselves that our talents are special and unique. But the reality is, everybody else thinks the same way. They look at what it is that you're doing or what you're capable of doing and actually view that as being special and unique. If we take a second, consider the people who we view as inspirations or who have changed the world. It's amazing that Terry Fox attempted to run across Canada on 1 leg, or that Albert Einstein revolutionized scientific thought, or Beethoven composed his first song at an age before which most of us could even read. But these guys didn't think of themselves as the most creative or intellectual or inspirational people. They just did what they did because they enjoyed it. Look at all of the other TED speakers here today and online. They do what they do because they enjoy it. Like with Beethoven and Terry Fox and Einstein, most people that change the world tend not to comprehend the grand effect that they have. You will never know the true impact sharing your ideas will have on others, but you will never have an impact on others unless you share those ideas. So share your thoughts with the people around you and be proud of what you do. Not only do I hope that you walk away after TED being inspired, but that you walk away knowing that you have the capacity to inspire other people. For the most part, you're young. You have the capacity to shock and inspire and amaze people on a daily basis. And that is what TED was founded on, ideas worth spreading.